Hello, I'm Master Albert Zhang, a teacher and scholar on the subject of Chinese wisdom and philosophy. Now, for the last 20 years, I've been doing quite a lot of research and studies on the topic of 几维导数, which is actually a school of Chinese astrology, also called the Purple Astrology or the Emperor Stargate, but definitely not the 12 animal sign astrology. Okay? Now, since then, I've also published a lot of books on this subject, like Success on All Levels, Find Your Love with Emperor Stargates, and also the most latest book, A Scientific Approach to Understand Your Luck. Now, all the contents of this book are actually based on the working of the Chinese astrology. Now, in the following videos, I'm going to introduce to you the principles behind the working of this Chinese astrology, 几维导数. So, a very important question to ask, why we have to learn Chinese astrology? In fact, very much like the Western astrology, it provides us a tool to understand ourselves, understand who we are, our main character, our strength and weakness, and most importantly, the different scenarios that we encounter at different stages of our life path. So how does the Chinese astrology work? In fact, it's quite easy to understand and operate. Now, once we have our date of birth and also our time of birth, we will be able to generate an astrology chart with a computer software. Now, the astrology chart is actually composed of 12 houses named after the 12 animal signs. Then, according to the individual's birth information, we will be able to place the 12 chambers. Now, namely the life chamber, the elders chamber, karma chamber, properties, career, staff, travel, health, prosperity, minors, spouse, peers, and so on. Now, after we place the 12 chambers, into the 12 houses, then we will also be able to place the 114 stars in the Stargate system into the 12 chambers. Now, the 414 stars can actually be divided into 4 categories. So we have what we call 14 grade A stars, which are very important in determining the characteristics or the main character of the individual. And then there are also the 14 grade B stars. And the grade B stars can actually be divided into what we call the dark stars and also the bright stars. And then there are also the 38 grade C stars and 48 grade D stars. Now, to have a general understanding of the character of the individuals, we need to find out what are the stars, which grade A stars that actually sit in his or her life chamber. Say, for example, Princess Lady Diana actually have the sun that sits in her life chamber, which means she's a lady always showing love and care for other people. Now, Barack Obama, the ex-US president, has the messenger that sits in his life chamber, which demonstrates that he's a guy with great speech power. And then Warren Buffett, he actually got the Emperor star that sits in his life chamber, which means that he's a guy with great financial skills. Then there are the group B stars, which can be divided into 2 categories, the bright stars and also the dark stars. Now, if there are a lot of bright stars that sit in his life chamber or the other important chambers, this will bring about what we call a very lucky life path. And vice versa, if there are a lot of dark stars that sit in his or her life chamber and the other important chamber, that will represent a bumpy life journey or a life path full of challenges. So how to identify what are the stars that sit in your life chamber? Now, you can actually visit my website, moneyluck8.com. Key in your date and time of birth, and then you will be able to find out the stars that sit in your life chamber and find out your main character and so on. Or you can visit my other websites, yijingtarot.com, to download the astrology software for 1 month free trial to generate your own astrology charts.